Speedbusters gets a lot of complaints about speeding cars.
But tonight, Steve Chamraz is here to expose bad behavior by people on bicycles. Steve.
Yeah, Mike and Carol, it turns out people are the same no matter their mode of transportation. Even the leanest, cleanest, and greenest bicycle rider will break the rules if they think they can get away with it. Once you get the hang of it, riding a bike is one of the most fun forms of exercise you can find. Not to mention a great way to save on gas.
I haven't driven a car to work in 15 years.
But as biking advocates like Dave Schlabowski are quick to point out, pedal pushers are not immune from the rules. Rules broken with painful consequences.
You're not going to be just a fender bender. You're going to feel the consequences of breaking that. Yeah.
In 2011, a little over 1,000 Wisconsin bike riders were hurt in crashes. 9 of them were killed.
Bicyclists think of themselves as pedestrians sometimes?
Yes, they do.
Where they get some special rights?
Yes, they do.
So Speedbusters is on special assignment this week, teaming up with Milwaukee Police Bike Patrol Officer Juan Lopez for a crash course in how not to ride on city streets.
People tend to forget that they're in an urban environment.
While there is no mandatory bike training, there are rules and regulations spelled out in black and white. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Signaling on a bicycle is actually not only highly recommended, but it's actually part of the state law.
And failure to signal was one of the biggest problems we found on Milwaukee's streets. Bike after bike where the rider gave no indication of where he was going.
Is that a ticketable offense?
Yes, it is.
Another common rule bike riders break is riding on the sidewalk, something only children and police officers are allowed to do. But the most risky problem happens when cyclists run short on patience.
Bicycles actually do have to stop at red lights and wait.
Yet, here we saw it, a bike cruising through an intersection against the light. Illegal and dangerous. So why do so many people ignore rules that are there for their own protection? Simple, because they can. Milwaukee police will rarely chase somebody down for bad behavior on a bike. In 2011, only 61 tickets were written to bikers breaking the rules. The most common, with 41 citations, was riding on the sidewalk.
We tend to give a little bit more breaks, but just depends on what they did and how bad it was.
Dave Schlabowski says bikers know all too well what they can get away with. Just like a driver who knows doing 70 on I-94 probably won't get you a ticket.
It's easy to speed on a car. It's hard to speed on a bike. It's easy to run a red light on a bike. It's harder in a car. People tend to be people, and human nature is what it is. People break the laws they think they can get away with.
And then there are these things. Headphones. There is no rule against listening to music while you are on a bike, but Officer Lopez says this is just a bad idea since you will not be able to hear oncoming traffic if you're wearing a pair of earbuds.
One other safety point, and that's a headlight and a tail light on those bikes
if you're out there at dusk or dawn, definitely you want to have those.
Stay safe.
Steve.
Thank you, Steve.